Okay. Well, it's on. First pick
For
Fnatic.
gods, I've cut you off like 3 times. I'm so sorry. I'm so
You're fine.
sorry.
You're fine. It's working, Alan. The bet's on.
Just gonna stop talking.
No, that's me. The meme is
If I start talking,
Don't be like that.
yeah. Gods, the floor is yours.
Fnatic
We'll
first
just
picks.
turn them off.
Okay, so Fnatic first pick, which means Alliance are the ones who have to ban Beastmaster. So again, we get to see Fnatic with the Slider ban. Black mentioned it. Should give Fnatic a bit of at least draft. It makes their draft a lot easier to approach from the start, at least.
And I feel like Alliance, even till now, they haven't really figured out how to play, like how to complete their lineup without Slaughter, because they always lack DPS in the late game. Whether they pick Centaur or wait, did they pick another hero for? No, it was only Centaur or Slaughter. And if they don't get the Slaughter but have to pick the Centaur and get the Shadow Demon banned on top of that, they simply have no DPS.
I think it's a much better option for Ohio. He can just get a lot more done. He's he plays that more conservative offlaner role, and that's where a Darkseer over a Batrider is going to suit you more. You can be aggressive with this. There's great Darkseer partners, be it no longer a bounty, but there's the Doom, there's Night Stalkers, there's all kinds of things you can pair with this.
I just feel like it's a little bit too much into the team fight wombo combo, and Alliance is very, very good at playing around those cooldowns. They're very, very good at split pushing, especially with this open. I like Ohio's Darkseer a great deal for exactly the reasons that you guys articulated.
You don't have to go into the wombo combo. I think you're jumping too. I mean, they might, but I think you're jumping ahead of yourself. You can see this paired with heroes like Ember Spirit, Lifestealer.
Okay.
Like Lifestealer plus Darkseer is insane, but it's not all team fight. Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
This is not wombo combo out of Fnatic. They can pick a mid laner who combos with the vacuum, definitely, but it's by no means a requirement.
But now the issue becomes: are you confident putting mid one back on this Ember?
Oh, you have to. It's his signature hero.
It was one of his best heroes. Yes.
He's played 2 terrible games today, but I like that Mushi. He was in the huddle with his team. He was giving them some words of confidence, I imagine. And he's just gonna trust his team at this point.
Amen.
You got here based on trusting your team. You can't be trying to take control and just tell your team, hey, I'm going to carry us, keep protecting me, leave mid one like by himself. No, you got to trust this guy.
Also in the long run, if mid one actually has a really good game now, they're gonna be in a better shape than ever before.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm good.
I mean, going into the main event, like you don't.
Yeah.
If you lose based on a bad game from mid one,
It's a great ban.
It's not great. So
I feel like it's really risky though. Let's say he actually does have another bad game. How is he gonna recover until the main event?
I mean, whether you at least set him up for success, because if he has another bad game, it's going to look bad going to the main event regardless. So I think you put him on a hero where he's most comfortable.
And honestly, that's part of what being in the upper bracket buys you to begin with, right? If you can win this game, you have some time to make adjustments, even if you do lose your first series at the main event. I really like the Jug ban, by the way, coming out of Fnatic, because that was my first thought when they pick up this Ember Spirit. They're putting themselves into more of a late game situation. They have to worry about the Alliance push, and unfortunately, since the Chen got nerfed, they're a lot less powerful of a pushing team without the loaded Juggernaut.
Yeah. Also, what you have to see, the Jug is really, really good against Darkseer and Ember Spirit, because they do 150 DPS, and the Jug will just spin, and he will be immune to all of that.
Right.
And it also allows Fnatic to put a lot more pressure on the safe lane, whereas if there's a Jug, he will also just spin, put a healing ward up, be at full HP. He will feel really comfortable.
I wouldn't mind seeing like even a Gyrocopter ban or something to go with another one of Loda's most played heroes that goes well against the Darkseer.
But now we have to go back to the point, what do Alliance actually pick? Usually when they draft like that, they give Loda a tempo controller. Slaughter is out, and Centaur is not. You know, we spoke about it. They don't have enough DPS.
How about the Kunkka ban? I mean,
Respect ban,
we saw Mushi play it
I mean,
earlier.
I like it. It's really good against against Disruptor too. You can X-mark your teammate, he gets glimpsed, you can just X-mark him right back. It's actually...
Oh wait, that's a
I don't know whether they banned it because of that or just purely out of respect, but it counters both of the Nature's Prophet and Disruptor as well.
There's a lot of heroes for Fnatic with this last ban. You can target another Loda hero.
Naga Siren.
Wow. Oh.
But that they would actually go back to that, I mean, they haven't shown
it
here yet.
Alliance, when they've got to, like, those clutch games, that's when they more often than not will pull out like one of those throwback heroes like a Loda Naga, pull out like an anti-mage, maybe less so, but this is the kind of do-or-die scenario where maybe they would.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel like Alliance is going to hold off the carry pick to last though, because like, he will have to be really comfortable this game.
Is this a Rubik? Is there a lot of second phase Rubik from them as well?
That's the safe guess for sure.
I mean, as far as EGM heroes go, the IO and the Rubik, the big two.
Yeah.
Rubik Disruptor, it's a pretty good combo as well.
I still would like to see them take a chance sometime and go back to an Ake Enchantress, but you know, shifting EGM away from those heroes that he's played very well today is maybe not the best idea.
Yeah.
And I think Alliance are actually looking stronger now when they don't have junglers.
I agree.
It feels like junglers right now are not having the best success. Enchantress, another hero who I haven't been that impressed by in this tournament. So
I feel the reason why he's so good with the junglers is he's always at the right time.
Yes.
I mean, he's always at the right spot at the right
mid,
time.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big thing that okay, I really like this pick. So if you can't get your hands on the Juggernaut, you're going to go back for the S4 Dragon Knight because that gives you that pushing presence mid. It really, any kind of rotation by Fnatic early on, they lose their mid tower.
Yeah. I really hope Alliance is going to go back to one of Loda's like old school carries, the Gyrocopter. I just feel it complements the lineup really well, and you know, it's just one of his comfort heroes where he feels really well on, and he will need something like that.
Interesting AA. They haven't got like the best setup for an Ice Plus just yet. Normally you see this
only
like,
the Shackle so far.
Yeah. Normally you see like an AA with maybe a Dragon Knight or something.
Right.
We've seen a lot of, or some kind of blink stun initiation like the Centaur, in the case of Alliance.
Yes.
But this pick to me doesn't yet make sense. But we'll have to kind of wait to see what Fnatic go into next.
Well, I guess it's really good against DK in general, though, because it's really tanky, and with an Ice Blast, you can just instantly burst him down.
Yeah. It also he's definitely not going for, well, I'd say definitely, unlikely to go for an Armlet against the Ice Blast.
Yeah.
We've seen some good Armlet DK play in this tournament already, but
I love Oracle against the Darkseer.
Okay.
I was going to mention it before the game, but this is the first Oracle pick, right?
No, not every tournament.
We've had Oracle in the tournament
Was it picked already?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's like the hardest counter to Darkseer and Ember Spirit as well. Like, they will run at them with Iron Shell and Flame Guard.
Yeah, sorry, none of those buffs are there anymore.
And you're gone.
Oh,
this,
man.
This makes a lot of sense. Fnatic,
I like it.
Okay.
very good with the Mushi Medusa.
AM?
I mean, they will probably ban it, but if not, then they would have to go for AM.
You think?
Please don't ban it.
Like, I'm sure they would go for AM. Like, the lineup is really good for AM.
So is the Oracle for EGM?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fits in pretty well.
And what I wanted to say about Fnatic is, for me, it looked like they instantly realized they can't rush into their faces and they instantly go back to a Medusa, which is more like a laid-back style, because they obviously the Oracle denies like all the aggression right away.
But their lineup becomes so greedy now.
It is incredibly greedy.
I mean, and Alliance just have so many strategic options with these first four heroes. They can push. They're not bad late. They scale decently well with these four alone. And yeah, I would. If Fnatic doesn't ban AM here, I think you just have your cursor on that hero portrait and are clicking.
I'm really scared for Fnatic though. They can't really kill middle because Medusa has no killing power. They can't kill off lane because Darkseer, he can't do anything against Oracle.
And what is the team in the world that most wants a passive early game?
Oh.
Would be aligned. Well,
but
you
have an AA support. You're not looking to roam anyways. I mean, it's normally will be the position.
But usually they would go like an Earth Spirit, like a
well, they could
bounty,
like
a
Enchantress. Not that I think it's great for them, but that's a hero we've seen 3-4-3 play a bit of.
But even Enchantress, you would kind of have to solo kill the mid lane, and it's very unlikely because Medusa's like gonna use a snake.
I know this is a bit mad, but the Brood's still there.
5 seconds.
For Alliance, it's Bulldog.
They're not going to do that
Yeah.
They're not going to do that now.
Now the Witch Doctor is still on the table, right, for Fnatic, and that's a 3-4-3 hero.
Right.
For Alliance, I guess, do you default to like? You could go way back and like have Loda run a Lycan or something of that nature.
I mean,
there is a.
They just don't do that.
There's a Bat
anymore.
Rider free.
That would be the liquid hero of choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Lycan
Alliance
DK
doesn't
who would just steamroll through, win the game by 25-30 minutes.
let's look at the carries that actually counter Medusa. It would be PL, which is terrible against Ember Spirit.
Right.
And AM is banned. What else do we have? It's like on carry, not really that much. There's a Lycan who can punish you with Necrobook, but
I don't think the PL Ember Spirit is as lopsided on either side as a lot of people believe, though.
going back
So
to the
Tusk
Tusk,
pick is really good, though. I like the Tusk pick a lot.
they also needed the save, and that gave them just that.
Exactly.
I think if you look at like the Tusk AA, this is a lot of like a slow with the Ice Vortex and the Frozen Sigil. Getting some kind of right-click carry is not necessarily going to function all that well for Alliance.
I actually think Lycan would be really good because he just completely ignores the movement speed slow, and he can go the Necronomicon 3, which is really good against Medusa, but it would put them on a timer.
Yeah, only 12 seconds left. It's not something that they run a lot, but I just can't get
How, everyone's saying fast-paced. How about Joe Ranger? Is that possible?
I know.
Slark.
Okay.
It's a bit more.
I don't like it that much against A, though.
Yeah.
If A gets an Aghanim 17 seconds where you don't regenerate any health.
But the Slark has to be free to roam to the back lines and take out the A before the fight, basically.
Okay, we'll go reverse time this time round. Gods, which team had the better draft?
Draft-wise, I don't think either team's come out hugely on top. Maybe ever so slightly Alliance, but I feel Fnatic coming in. I thought they were slightly favored. I'm going to stick with it. I think Fnatic will take it.
Black?
We spoke a lot about mid and late game and high ground defense, and I think Fnatic definitely has the edge here when it comes to draft. Because I don't see Alliance finish it early, so I think Fnatic is going to take this game.
Okay.
I have to go with my gut. I thought this was dead even coming in. I thought it was very even in the last game. I just think Alliance finds a way to pull this out.
Okay. All right. Final words from our panel are complete. We are headed into our very last game of the group stage here in the Manila Major. Who takes the final spot in the upper bracket? Let's find out with the M&Ms.
Thanks, guys, and welcome into our final game of the Manila Major group stages. We are here with Alliance versus, of course, Fnatic in game number 3. My name is Mon. Of course, with me is Merlini. We're going to jump right into the game.
Alliance versus Fnatic.
So, Ben, most of the panel predicting Fnatic to win this particular game. Whose draft do you like more as we get through it? I want to hear your thoughts on it as we move through the beginning of this game.
I like Fnatic's more. They play exceptionally well around the Medusa. And yeah, I think they just have better team fight, a lot of physical damage. The AA deals well with Oracle, deals well with the Slark, deals well with the Dragon Knight, and overall just better balance. I think they scale better into the late game too.
Talk about two different heroes too. Mushi plays, he goes right from the puck to the Medusa. He's like the strangest hero pool mid, I feel like, of any mid player out there right now.
He plays anything mid.
Yeah. Kunkka, Necrophos earlier today, which was fun. It was a fun game to watch against Alchemist. I mean, whatever works, man. And Fnatic, Mushi especially is known for just like picking whatever hero he wants, 3-4-3 drafting form and saying, okay, that's fine, we'll give this to you. I'm a bit concerned about the Tusk because it's not something we see that much anymore. He's still very strong, I think, in my opinion. But
I think it was banned earlier today against Liquid when there was a Disruptor pick and a DK pick. You can drag people out of the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field. You can save people who get Dragon Tailed. Overall, it's underrated, I would say.
Yeah, and you heard the panel and what they were talking about. Fnatic's high ground defense is certainly potent if it gets to that stage of the game, but...
Bulldog trying to drag the creeps around on top of both. His treants are going to die.
Need one more right click to get the job done. It's so close. They just barely find it. So yeah, the creeps, they'll go back up. No creep wave pull coming out for Bulldog, sadly, so... Mid one is going to be aggro dual lane against, though, for the time being. Ake throwing up.
Oh, they're aggroing this lane. That's very bold. Disruptor is super weak in offensive.
And you have Chilling Touch on top of that. They did just use it, though. So they were using it to kill the treants. They have to do that again now. And you can see just being annoying, being a nuisance, making sure DJ and 3-4-3 don't actually do anything.
They need to take off his clarity. It gets his almost up anyways.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, he's back up to full mana thereabouts. So... yeah, this is, like you said, it's very interesting to see them do this aggro dual lane top with the Furion. It's not something they do super often. I don't know if they'll keep, I think it's Ake up here on this Disruptor.
They're not getting any XP, but there is a large wave coming in. Mid one did not do the best job of keeping that lane close to his tower. A lot of that was due to the Treant micro coming out from Bulldog, but sacking his Treants to the 2 supports.
And by the way, mid one not having a really good series on Ember Spirit. 2 games earlier today against Liquid, and he died 10 times in that first game. It was just not great. He needs a confidence booster here. A win would certainly go a long way, or just a good performance in general. They'd feel pretty good about that. But for Alliance, this is obviously a very veteran team. We've talked about Bulldog. We thought about, okay, well, do they need to ban out the Furion? Clearly, Fnatic don't agree with that decision. They have to deal with the Bulldog Furion up in that top lane for the time being. And so far, it's a pretty good start for Alliance, all things considered.
I wonder if Fnatic will have to worry about the Shadow Blades coming out from the Dragon Knight and Nice Prophet. If I'm not mistaken, this was the 2 heroes that caused Ember Spirit the most trouble.
Yes.
in that game,
Series 3.
yeah, exactly. It was actually in that first game was those exact two heroes. The Nature's Prophet would TP in after the Dragon Tail would come out from Bata. So Mid-One's like getting flashbacks. He's like, all right, listen, I'm not going to farm aggressively and not going to get caught out. He's hopefully reaffirming himself and just saying, let's just play a little bit more back or a bit smarter.
That's what the Tusk is for, though. They realized they needed to save, and that's not something that they had in their other game.
Yeah, 3-4-3 could do a lot, but I don't know if he can do everything, and that's the problem. Is he does pick up a double damage root and help.
Tusk can do everything,
all
man.
right, if you say so. He's got Sigil, he's got Snowball, Ice Shards. What else do you need?
Yeah. He has good vision, he has good scout, stuns,
Yep.
anti-BKB.
This one is running at Ake. I'm not sure if this is the right play. Bulldog as well is there, but he does a lot of damage. He's going to push them back. The Thunderstrike is there. Glimpse is level 1, but it's just Ake wasn't quite in range. He's going to use it anyways, but they only get 2 more right clicks off the Glimpse back anyway, so not that much damage going through.
3-4-3 going in deep, looking for that courier kill.
It's 3 minutes now, and they wasted it away. But the Ice Shards, they'll block S4 for the moment, but the damage isn't really there, and so this is only going to be kind of a nuisance. Like, okay, listen. You have a Tusk and a Medusa hitting your DK with level 2 Dragon's Blood. You're not killing that hero.
You see DJ drawing on the map. He definitely wants 3-4-3 to return. They know that Disruptor's the easy kill. Disruptor should not be able to push out in this lane this far. Admiral Bulldog is out of mana, and the pressure from the Treants.
I thought he was going to walk up from the river, but I guess he decided not to. They might have seen it from a ward or something, but yeah, they saw him walk up through the jungle with that other Observer ward on the high ground, and so they just back up. Ake is like, I don't need to be here. I can look for the 4-minute rune. I can rotate elsewhere, and so he'll just get out of the lane. They'll give Bulldog a little bit more room, but he's going to get zoned out. Fnatic actually is starting to look pretty good in the CS department. Obviously, DK is not going to win his lane, although Medusa's not that bad of a matchup. He comes back, he gets the rune anyways. He says, I will take that free trip back to the mid lane. Thank you. That's very nice of you. It's very kind.
And another game where Medusa, or Mushi rather, places that ward right in that same spot. And here comes the push.
Already at this point. Snowball, they're not going to be able to catch Bulldog with this. Oh, they do barely. They get that series chains off of the Ice Shards as well. More than enough damage from Flame Guard coming through, and it's actually DJ getting the job done with his cold feet, I believe.
Tusk can do everything, Mog.
He can do everything. That was like a mile away. That was like the last second, the last half second of your Snowball actually connecting, which is kind of absurd.
Nice reaction speed from 3-4-3, and I think a nice call by DJ, making sure that Tusk is there to ensure that kill.
He started pinging him. He's like, please come back to top lane.
It was really important that he goes back, because AA can't really do that much. They don't have any kill potential with him.
Yeah.
Like maybe Searing Chains of the Cold Feet, but that's underwhelming.
How is this Ohio doing? 27 last hits, having about as good a time as expected for a Dark
He was in the jungle. He just returned the lane.
What is he? I think he has almost a soul ring on him now with Boots of Speed as well. No Boots yet. He has a soul ring and just a ring of regen. So.
And Iron Talon. Don't forget about the Iron Talon.
Iron Talon important. It's a lot of net worth right there. Not to mention it helps UCS pretty effectively. Okay, so I mean, this is pretty good for Fnatic. Again, like I said, you're not going to win your mid matchup as a DK, but he's still CSing well. But he's not shutting down Mushi. You're not having as great a time with the Furion as you are with the Darkseer in that off lane. 3-4-3, they've helped get a kill and almost a tower, at least put some pressure on that tower. Thunderstrike comes back, there it is, and it looks like 3-4-3 might be in trouble. Snowball not there in time. And he's going to have to run all the way around. They even use the Ice Shards, unfortunately blocks Mushi out from helping his teammates, so he is on a long run. There's no Sprout. Dragon Tail should be there from S4. He's going to have to pop the Elder Dragon Tail. He actually doesn't have mana to use the Dragon Tail, and 3-4-3 will end up falling. That did take a lot longer for them maybe than they were expecting. Even the Oracle rotated through with the Fortune's End, but he only uses it on Mushi at the end of the day.
Well, luckily for them, Elder Dragon form lasts a really long time. They should be able to get some nice damage onto that T1 tower in the meantime. Tusk probably could have snowballed to buy himself a little bit of extra time, especially when 3 heroes are over there. And S4 already getting those right clicks on mid tower, but Mushi not having any of it.
Mushi's just going to work. Should have he's gonna have his Aquila flying out next, maybe next set of boot phase.
Medusa's actually kind of a good solution to the Dragon Knight, because Medusa doesn't really mind staying static in the lane.
Yeah.
And he's very good at anti-pushing or just spamming out the
Mystic
mid wave
Snake.
constantly. Like if you have Shadow Fiend, you'll run out of mana eventually. Also, you're very susceptible to ganks, and you want to move into the neutrals a lot. But Medusa, you're perfectly content just sitting here constantly, and if DK sits there and gets hit by a Mystic Snake, he can't really do that much.
Mana's back, and then you have more chances to just use your Mystic Snake and spam it as much as possible.
But DK is really strong because he can take down that mid tower without that much effort, but against a Medusa, it's a whole other ball game. Well, Scan comes out on bottom.
Yeah, they noticed the rotation. Well, they see that the Tusk is there now. They should know the Darkseer is still there. Meanwhile, top mid one is playing very dangerously. He does Remnant away, but Bulldog got a lot of pot shots off and did some serious damage to the Ember Spirit. Mushi continues to farm mid. He's doing very well.
There's a smoke from Ohio and 343 coming in behind Mushi. This is going to be a very tough kill onto S4 unless they hit best ice shards I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's not going to be easy, and Aki's nearby as well to help out with a glimpse or kinetic.
But don't doubt Tusk, man.
Yeah, he's going to hit the ice shards, all right. He's going to hit the snowball, too. They drop the wall down. The Dragon Tail will do something, but not nearly enough to keep himself alive. From the Surge from Ohio. Fortune's End will go, but by the time it gets there, he will be at his Tier 1 tower because of Surge.
That's a very unusual smoke. That's very hard for S4 to detect. You don't expect a Darkseer and a Tusk to come to the off lane, down the mid lane from the Dire side.
Yeah, that was, I've seen strange smokes. Newbie did something similar the other day or yesterday, but that was definitely weird. And then on top of it, there was an observer ward there, the raiding observer ward, but they didn't see the smoke coming out.
Yep, exactly.
That's huge, actually, that Fnatic were able to get that kill when you consider that ward being there and what else was going on. So FaZe is going to be up for Mushi next. He has got a great start for a Medusa mid.
Look at mid one. He is ready for DK to TP back, but S4 being very patient does not actually TP back.
He just walks back to the tower, and he'll get a big creep wave as well. And then
this could be a T1 tower. They're not sure how many heroes are sitting behind there. Admiral Bulldog can be there, but he doesn't have that much mana.
Bulldog is just going to go home. 1,000 gold, he has phase boots. Pretty good start. Dire scan, so they know that who's top. And they can get away with keeping that ancient apparition pushing in that lane. Yeah, they're just going to send Bulldog up there, or rather, excuse me.
Wow, DJ's level 6, almost level 7. It's crazy.
He's having a pretty good game. 3-4-3, that's a TP from Bulldog. That's awkward. They see each other. Sprout comes out through 3. He's got a snowball. He probably has to use it here to stay alive, at least for a little bit longer. Good course with Sigil. The folks will come back out. He dodged it with the snowball, but it's only going to leave him a moment of time here. Comes out of the snowball. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Here comes the rest of the squad. Mid one jumping in. He's got the flame guard. They get off the damage, and there's going to be ice blast at the top. They don't hit with the initial hit. Mid one actually taking a lot of damage. He's about to go down the dark pack still. Mid one will find himself a double kill with the flame guard on top of that ice blast, and now looking for Loda. Loda's low, the last right click. It's a triple kill for mid one. All of that damage, and all of a sudden, he's up to 2.7k gold, almost getting this tower on top of it. Somehow surviving through all of that damage, and with the help of the ice blast, they set it up for him to get a full triple kill.
How dare you doubt Tusk as a support? Did you see what he did there? He bought so much time for them to come in, and that Sigil just enabled mid one to clean up.
I want to make it clear, I didn't doubt Tusk.
It sounded like it.
Tusk
heard it.
I just stated simply that I have not seen a lot of Tusk. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe someone will go back and on-shot it or live cap it.
I think you just called him the worst support ever. That's what I said.
All right, you know what, Ben? Listen, we're done.
Anyways, Tusk, he did so much work.
Yeah,
that is crazy. And I was like, mid one, he was spending a lot of time running around. They gave the lane to DJ. He's going to have his bots at a late time. Nope, not with that triple kill.
Yes, those bots right now, and he's looking for more. S4 gets the Dragon Tail, but here's the snowball and wall, and S4 is just... He's completely zoned out from the rest of the team. The ice shards were there perfectly again. He is not the worst support in the world. In fact, he seems to be doing very well. And 3-4-3 continues to style upon alliance with whoever he plays against. I mean, he had the one bad game on Phoenix, and since then, he's done very well so far.
They need to give Tusk a taunt.
He already swagged enough as it is. I don't think he needs to swag anymore.
Yeah, this is with a Dusa that's passively farming. The analyst mentioned that Dire had better scaling, and they're winning the early game quite handily, playing that upbeat tempo with the Ember Spirit and the Ion Shell. And Oracle has not really been close by. Oh, Bulldog TPing in on a DJ.
And DJ might actually be in trouble. TP out, he's fine. No way to stop that. Nature's Wrath, he just throws it out randomly, maybe to do some damage. And
they were worried about not enough setup for the AA ulti, but the Ice Shards and Snowball in a punch is very, very good at ensuring that
he's almost level
Ice
6
Blast
too
hits.
For the Tusk, which is huge. Walrus Punch, I think, is really important as well. Yeah, you're right about the Oracle. He hasn't had that impact. It's not like that he's not even been there, but it's just he hasn't really done much this entire game in general. The Oracle is sitting okay in net worth, but he hasn't gotten any kills or assists, not that I know of anyway.
Well,
I mean,
level
he's
6
only
up on
one kill going the way
Aki.
of Alliance.
Maybe he can turn things around with a big Static Storm.
And they need it. Their smoke is going to come out, though. Instead of turning things around, he's going to do one cut out. Good kinetic field, but it's not going to save his life as he gets Searing chained up and then cold feeded on top of that with the Flame Guard. And Iron Shell, as we have talked about previously on the Ember Spirit, it's certainly not a lot of damage that the Disruptor can take.
In theory, the Oracle Purge is very good at taking that off, but that's if the Ember Spirit is not elusive. Theoretically, he could dodge it with Sleight of Fist. He can just use Remnant to be invulnerable, so he can't even get targeted a lot of time. Another nice initiation.
Ice shards, ice everywhere, but here comes the fire. The Ember Spirit mid-1 jumping in. They get off the Purifying Flames. Walls there, but no vacuum to combo up, and S4. Good false promise, but he's going to try to TP out. Searing Chains will cancel that, and S4 is just like, I am dead again. I think that is his 4th death of the game. I might be wrong about that. They literally beat on him until the Purifying Flames, rather the false promise was gone.
Yeah, and any signs of mid-1 being dubious on the Ember Spirit,
Gone.
They're definitely gone. He was very patient with the Searing Chains there, knowing that the only way out was a TP. They did take off his shield.
So this is I don't want to call it awful, but this start is just not great for Alliance. I mean, where do you go
I think
from
it's
here?
in the realm of awful.
Okay, all right. I don't want to have to say it, but you're going to, I mean, that's fine, but where do you go from here as Alliance? I mean, you don't have the Shadow Blade yet on Slark. Meanwhile, the other 2 cores for
You don't lose control of
Fnatic
your jungle so you can farm. That is probably the most important thing. Nature's Prophet eats up a ton of space, a ton of camps, and Ake trying to protect the jungle. Mid-1 dodges! Oh my god.
The Sleight of Fist dodge.
Yeah.
He is not dubious. You are correct. He is now styling along with, of course, the rest of the squad, including 343.
That was some crazy good timing from Mid-1. Some people think Disruptor's a counter versus Mid-1, or versus Ember Spirit rather, because of the Static Storm, but there is potential for outplay, as we just saw.
And now there's going to be Snowball coming through to save himself. They even get the Ice Blast on a couple of other heroes. The Fortune's End will go, albeit a bit late. Now EGM getting focused down, but Mid-1 is now forced to not attack. He's been base edict. However, he still will get chased down. The Mystic Snake and Flame Guard.
Look how useless the Oracle seems versus the Ember Spirit. He didn't even have Flame Guard up, but he still just
He was
dies.
like disarmed for 3 seconds too, and he still just got run down.
Yeah, this is what happens when you're down 10 kills to 1.
What's the net worth
7,500
graph
gold
looking
lead.
like?
7,500.
That's 14 minutes. That is not great.
Especially when there's a Dusa on the team. Well, yeah, they really wanted to save their jungle, but Fnatic were too quick to the punch, catching Ake as he was trying to set up good vision around that area.
Comes back. Do they really want to go for the Static Storm? Comes back into it. Yeah, but the Ice Blast on top of Ake. He should probably turn this too. Although there are a lot of heroes here now. But here comes the Snowball. They get off the Stone Form as well. Loda has to pop the Shadow Emblem. Vacuum Wall. It's on to 3. And Ake's in trouble. Walrus Punch. Good breathe fire, but the mech is up and ready to go. The False Promise will come onto Loda. He gets off the Shadow Dance as well. But S4 will not be so lucky. Here comes Mid-1. Searing Chains. He gets it onto 2. A double kill for Mid-1. 4 dead, and Alliance are getting run over by Fnatic in game number 3.
I don't ever think I've seen a DK die this quickly every single time.
It's certainly not good, and boy, are they not done yet. If they just had detection under that tier 2 tower, Loda would be the next to fall. He'd be the 5th and final kill in that engagement. What is happening, Ben?
Mid-1's styling on Alliance. That's what's
He
happening.
really is. It's a complete team effort, too. Like, it's not just him, it's that they're coming together as a team as a whole. They're finding, you talked about that upbeat tempo. They hit that timing perfectly, and Mid-1 was there when they needed to get those kills, and everybody is just finding their footing for Fnatic right now.
A lot of it was due to that triple kill, because it could have been the case that Ember Spirit rotates around and then dies when he has 1,000 gold. After that, he has like 800 gold, and AA is level 6, but he doesn't really have anyone going around to set up kills. Because of that triple kill, he got that 1,000 gold that he needed for BOTs, and then everything was okay after that. But that one triple kill just ruined Alliance's early game. Usually it's like ruined anyway, just because they draft like that, but it shouldn't have been this poor.
Alliance are devastatingly close to a lower bracket finish, or at least a lower bracket start, I should
They have
say.
NP. Don't count Bulldog out. 12,000 gold lead is difficult to come back from, and they're trying to go on
A
the
good start
Mushi.
would be a Mushi right now, but TPs are coming in. S4 has to just walk up and Dragon Tail him with no Elder Dragon Form, and here comes Mid-1. Does he have a double damage rune? No, he does not. He's still going to work. Now Admiral Bulldog. Sprout's going to come through. The TP's going to come out. Sleight of Fist comes in. The False Promise, making sure he stays alive, and he will make it out in time. They're still hunting. They're looking for S4. Sleight of Fist Searing Chain should be back up and ready to go, but they won't go any further. Now they get the surge off, and now he will find it. But S4 turns with the Dragon Tail and says, just stay right there. Let me right-click it. Bulldog has TP back in, and now Mid-1's not in the best position. The Stone Gaze will come through. They get off the mech. The Fnatic field Static Storm is there, but he gets glimpsed back in. Back wall into 3 again. Ohio finds another great initiation. Bulldog still alive with the Fate Zedic. Loda wants this kill on a Mid-1. He'll even pop the Shadow Dance for it, but it's too late already. They're getting turned on. There's just too much damage, too much sustain. Loda will fall. S4 will be next. Mushi finally getting involved with the split shot. Remnant 4, Mid-1 wants more blood. He'll find EGM, and he goes to work. 4 dead again for Alliance all day. Dead in the dirt. Fnatic running over them once more.
Oh, just when you think they're about to kill, bam, Stone Gaze, sick backing wall coming out from Ohio, and it's been a really long day for Alliance.
God, especially at the start of this game. It is certainly feeling a bit longer. The game is not over. There are still Raxus standing, and they have good heroes for the late game, albeit against an Emperor Spirit and Medusa. It is not easy.
Yeah, but they've been demoralized, beaten, bruised, you name it. They've suffered it.
Yeah, that seems that accurate. 18 minutes in this game, they have 1 kill, 18 for Fnatic. We've seen some slacking so far in this tournament, but Fnatic are right now doing pretty damn well in that department. They're going to go further forward more. They're going to find us more. Gets off the Fate Zedic though. A couple of right clicks going to work, but they'll stay alive. They don't want to go any further. Loda is Shadowblade up. They really want to find just any kill. Anything would be great. Nature's Wrath does a bit of damage to 343. They jump into the Shadowblade. The right click, they get the Pound Start Pack, and the Ice Shards just protecting 343 again. Bulldog has to TP, and the Sprout will come through. Can they even get this kill? The Snowball buying time again. 343 will get out. Now Mushi is going to be the one that takes the target and the aggro away from his from his comrade, and he actually makes it out in time and gets the urn up, and it survives just fine on that freaking stupid elusive Tusk in this game.
What did Fnatic do during that break?
I don't know. Maybe we Ice Shard. That won't connect with the Snowball well. The Static Storm right on top of it, and actually can't get killed. Good false promise, and that will stop them for the time being. Fnatic trying to run over more, but oh, here we go. See ya. Mid-1 jumps in. Ake is actually still alive. The glimpse back, but there's the Mystic Snake. Mushi walks right into the high ground. Mid-1 just comes flying through from the right side of your screen and finds another great initiation, but really it was Mushi to finish off the kill. And here is the Battle Fury now done, coming out for Mid-1. On top of the fact they already have the Lincoln Spear for Mushi, they have the mech up for the Darkseer, now with the Hood of Defiance on top of it. It's just, they have every item they need to push up to the high ground. At 19 minutes in with a Dusa and an Ember Spear, then.
This is some peak performance coming out from Fnatic. I've not seen them play this Chris Dota in a very long time.
No, they are looking good. They are looking solid. They look like they want to get down. They look like they want the upper bracket too. Sleight of Fist. Mid-1 was blocked in with the Sprout. Get out in time as the Fortune's End comes a bit too late. The glimpse back coming through. He's going to be able to dodge it with the Remnant. Again, Mid-1 knowing that glimpse timing perfectly. He says, no, Sleight of Fist not this time. I think I'll just use the Remnant instead. They're just going to keep going. They have the Iron Shell up with Mid-1. They've Sleight of Fist with the Battle Fury. They can clear out the creep wave easily, and they're just pushing.
Bulldog has kind of geared towards the late game with his Midas and eventually building a Scepter, but I don't think it's going to get that far.
It might not get to that point in the game. I do like Fnatic backing here. They did a lot of chip damage to the tower. It's not going to regen up. There's no, Treant Protector in this game.
Ooh, finally, Alliance get a breather.
They need one. Well, I will say this. If they do come back from this deficit, it'll be one of the best comebacks you'll ever see in Dota. And I kind of want to see it. I kind of want to see Alliance just have an amazing second half of this game.
There's just so much.
So hard, though.
So many odds to deal with. Darkseer, many defensive items coming out, Pipe and Mech. They already had a lack of damage before. DK with no items, no pieces of armlet. He does have the full pipe. Well, some of it's on chicken. Maybe a headdress coming out? No headdress. But he has that mega pipe almost completed. Dragonite, look at his items. Treads Bottle 1. Generally have armlet and then some at this point. Sark has Shadowblade, but he's forced to start tail and run because of the output of damage that Fnatic has, and Nature's Prophet just has a little bit of attack speed coming out from that Midas. And who is going to get these heroes even to like half HP? Maybe if they could jump to AA, but even he's dinky.
I don't know what you can do in this game for Fnatic.
Split push with NP.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much have to, but while that's happening, you're losing Roshan, you're losing more, advantage of the map, you're losing, obviously, the Aegis and the Ember Spirit.
They have to wait for the Ember Spirit to push out and then catch them with a Static Storm. That's their best chance of a kill right now. Or DK stun, which it looks like they're aiming for right now.
But might be the best opportunity for them.
He doesn't have a
lot
blink.
of gold if they get the kill. But guess what? He has an Aegis, so Loda's going to walk up. He's Shadow Bladed, and they know that there's no sentries here. Sleight of Fist comes out. He actually avoids the gank because he Sleight of Fist at the perfect time, then Remnants down toward the enemy jungle. All right.
He knows that's their only play, to try and kill him with these split pushing and split push with Nature's Prophet or their other cores to force Fnatic from barreling down that mid lane.
Well, I think they're not going to be able to stop this at this point. Fnatic are going straight down that mid lane, as you just mentioned. And they're trying to split push. Alliance are like, listen, we need to get something. We need to get this tier 2 top. But that's going to be a trade that is not really that great, as Mushi's going and getting the pot shots on that tier 3 tower. Lincoln Spear is broken. EGM, I think you walked a bit too far. He even has to use the False Promise on himself just to make sure he survives, and I'm not sure he'll make it through. The Ice Blast is going to sail through. Aki will dodge it, but still, it will be EGM going down. The False Promise not even saving his life. His ultimate doing nothing to actually help him. DJ will get jumped on. This is what you were talking about, bringing down the support, but there's boom to the back. No wall coming out. Good ultimate from the Disruptor to make sure that Dark Seer walls can get put down, but S4 is still getting corralled up, and there's 3 heroes in the vicinity. They get off the Searing Chains. They will bring him down for 40 seconds. That might be it, honestly, at least with this whole set of brackets going down in this mid lane. They might back up to defend top, and it looks like they will do so. But Alliance are going to lose 1 full set of racks at 23 minutes in against an Ember Spirit. Not only that, but they're going to lose Ake on top of it as well. The Courier will go down. It is Dire's Courier that is going to fall, so they will get a little bit of a brief respite, but it is not going to be enough.
They can't even kill the AA.
Oh, they stopped the TP coming out from the Furion, but it'll just use his teleportation with W. I thought there were more heroes back up top lane for Fnatic to actually get that kill, but they were all still mid. They didn't TP out at that point. All right.
That was a sick Stone Gaze coming out from the Medusa. He like walked into the back line, so if you retreat, you get Stone Gaze. If you stay there, you're just going to die to the Ember Spirit. So very well placed by Mushi. He has played this hero a lot, far more than I could think of for any other professional player. Who else picks Medusa?
I don't know who does.
Not as often as Fnatic, if you even give me a name.
No, definitely not. I mean, I'm trying to think of anybody like an NA. Maybe TC occasionally.
Oh yeah, they do pick it.
I mean, like, but that's like the only person that I think of, and it's like you said, clearly not as much as Mushi. It's working for him. It seems to be doing the job. Although I do have to put the majority of this game on mid one. I don't know if you would agree. Or maybe
the Tusk.
Yeah, I think the Tusk was probably a pretty good choice. S4 is going to get caught. Bots in from mid one. Searing Chains Flame Guard. The Ice Blast on top of that. He should probably die. Remnant actually misses Sleight of Fist, but he gets the kill with it at the tail end with the Sleight of Fist. Mid one has Remnant out if need be. Not to mention that Aegis is still up, so Loda can't find that kill. And while this is all happening, they're grouping bottom. And they're going to be able to bots in a couple of seconds at this point. There is an Aghanim Center on an A with a level 2 ulti. If you get hit by that, you're probably just dead with these supports, or anybody for that matter. Fnatic.
Yeah, Dragon Knight already felt the wrath of that.
Yeah, he was not feeling... They didn't even need to have mid one up there, probably. You just needed to get 1 or 2 right clicks or a Flame Guard tick or 2 off, and that was more than enough. Fnatic are pushing up there. They're not going to go too quickly.
Well, Fnatic with this win, they will secure a berth in the upper brackets.
And they're on the doorstep, literally. There's the TP coming in from the Ember Spirit. They backed up like, who is that? Oh, it's our teammate mid one. He's in the base already. He jumps in. Akin's about to fall. He will go down almost instantly. The Ice Blast will sail through, and he'll hit him into EGM. Baits Edict just to make sure he doesn't take the damage. He'll try to Purifying Flames. He is going to shatter as soon as that is done. No, he'll False Promise just to make sure he stays alive a bit longer.
Now AA outlasts way too long.
He will survive a bit longer, but not by much. And S4 walks up, dies. Ohio finds himself an Iron Shell. Mushi goes in and gets the right click off. They buy back on the NT. They've lost just about everyone. They even TP'd back Fnatic a couple of heroes just to make sure they could secure their base and keep it alive. Loda going toe-to-toe with Mushi. Dark Pack comes out. Mushi is winning this man fight. They have to use the Shadow Dance. Bulldog getting pushed back. I mean, Mushi only still has a Lincoln Sphere, but it's just not enough damage for Loda at this point. The Ice Blast will go in again, fly through into the base. It'll hit up into Bulldog.
The
And
punishment
on the Loda as well.
never ends.
And they just lose the racks. It's just, there is one kill for Alliance, one freaking kill. They can only get one pickup in this game. Who was that kill on, Ben?
Tusk.
Can you tell me? It was the Tusk. So he didn't style enough, I don't think.
Yeah, blame him for all of Fnatic's woes, if there are any.
God, that was, they have had a sick game. This is, I would almost say near perfect for Fnatic so far. That could change very quickly. Tier 1 tower. Mid 1 wants to make sure he cleans this up. Bulldog still having a good time. Gets the taunt up before leaving. And there it is. GG. A bit anticlimactic to end our last game of the evening, our last game of the group stages, but still Fnatic had, like I said, one of the best games of Dota I've seen, one of the most perfect games of Dota I've seen in a while.
And they're all smiles. I would be too. And that sets the main stage. We have our 8 teams.
Yes, the upper bracket and the lower bracket now set and ready to go. All 16 teams seeded. Alliance would have liked to be up there in the upper bracket, but they just unfortunately did not make it through with that last game. Just a stellar performance, though, from Fnatic. Not to take anything away from them, but some really good performances from all of the teams here, I think, performing. I think most of the teams had some really solid performances all the way around, I think. Group A through D, honestly.
Even though Alliance lost the series, I think they showed a lot of promise, especially taking down one game versus Liquid. Probably most people's favorites, especially with Wings dropping to the lower bracket.
Yep. And Liquid considered a top 3 team. Alliance definitely looked a lot better than I think most people thought, but in that third game, it didn't click for them. I mean, they looked good in that series against VGR. They looked pretty good in that series against Liquid, but they had a really good game in that game number 2 against Fnatic, but unfortunately, they just fell a little bit short, Ben. So,
dang, what did Alliance do to deserve such punishment?
I don't know. They left the Tusk. They left the Tusk in. I guess that might have been the only thing, but that was some stylish play from mid 1 and some stylish play from Fnatic all around. With that said, my name is Mont. With me is Merlini. We're going to throw it back to the panel for our last time of the group stages.
Thank you very much to our commentary team there, Mort and Merlini. Well, what do you say after that, gentlemen?
Brutal.
Savage.
Wrecked.
Yeah. Not much more we can say about it, really. We were expecting a close game, Alan.
I mean, I think it's going to be a close game. I think Alliance is somehow going to pull it out.
We can't even. I mean, yeah. What do we say? I feel terribly sorry for Alliance. I genuinely do, because they've played so well all day long. They've really taken it to Liquid. They've really showed Fnatic the way in some of these games, and yet somehow they've ended up in the lower bracket. It almost seems unfair.
At the same time, though, this is the Fnatic that we've seen in online games against SEA competition, and a lot of people had questioned whether they were going to be able to take that level of play into a LAN.
Very true.
We just saw it.
Yeah.
And the thing with Fnatic is we've seen them all day. 2-1 against Liquid, very close series. Every single game and series they've had has been very competitive.
I think the graph is broken.
It's not non-existent.
But they've done their performance today.
Oh god, I'm so sad. This is not nice. Even the graph is trolling now.
It's like a flat line.
Alliance confirmed dead.
Oh yeah, but by the way, right. So Alliance ends up with like 6 assists on one team kill because EGM got assists for purifying flames.
So he was
teammates.
I mean, is he an MVP candidate for Fnatic then?
400% team fight participation, all-time record.
It's just so cruel. It really is. I just don't know what to say for Alliance. I mean, they must be broken there because it's such a horrible way to. I mean, let's put it into perspective. They're still in the tournament. Yeah. They still have an opportunity. It is going to be exceptionally tough down in that lower bracket. We're going to finish the show a bit later on, and we'll look at all of the groups and we'll show you all the teams that have gone through and who haven't gone through. But my goodness, what a performance from Fnatic.
Mid 1 showed up. That's
in a big way.
He's been absent all day long, and Fnatic have been as competitive as they have been without him. And all it takes is one great game, and suddenly Fnatic's stomping a top-tier team.
Yeah, Black, your thoughts on Fnatic?
This game was really all Mid-1 and DJ for me. Like 3-4-3 as well.
Yeah,
he did pretty well. Yeah, he did really well on the Tusk. But mainly Mid-1 and DJ had really good synergy with Ice Blast and Shackles. They just made it work all over the map, and he ended with Beyond Godlike. Like finally, he showed up as the man he really is, the promised and chosen one.
Got a note from Nox as we view the MVP, which is Mid-1 for the final game of the day. And the final game of the bracket as well. In the other match, of course, MVP taking out EG 2-0. So EG are down in the bottom half of the main event as well. Nox says that Gods had Fnatic as the highest of all the analysts, right? Okay. Mort had them as the lowest. Gods also had Alliance as the lowest, and Mort had Alliance as the highest. I'm just saying, it just seems like a little bit of a coincidence. Like, did you two?
I don't want to share my alliance ranking. Let's just say, last time I love the guys, but yeah, last time a lot of angry alliance fans out there.
Yeah,
with me.
no, absolutely. I mean, there are. Yeah, they're very passionate, of course, and they will be supporting their team no matter what they do. But they must be very disappointed as well. I'm a Newcastle United fan, right? And we got relegated this season. It's a very sore subject for me, but I'll bring it up now as a point in case. They are the kind of team who flatter to deceive, right? They'll build you up, and then they'll lose and lose and lose, and they'll be in trouble. And then you'll think, well, we're done now. Then they'll win and give you hope, and then they'll lose and get done again. And Alliance kind of fits that similar thing. Maybe that's why I'm a fan.
I mean, I think in most of the cases, right, Complexity had a very, very rough day yesterday. Vici Gaming Reborn obviously have a lot of things to fix after today, but I think in most of the cases, the teams that have been knocked down to the losers bracket, they've done some good things in these matches. They've at least given their fans reason to hope. I think you're going to see just some absolutely ridiculous Dota in these best of ones.
But do you not think that Alliance came, of all the teams that have come through and gone to the lower bracket, do you not think they're the closest that could and probably even should have made it? When you think back to the game against Liquid and you think just one small misstep that they made and that could have been a 2-0.
And as far as the groups go, I mean, it's easiest. Look back in hindsight and say they had one of the toughest groups. I think the other team who you could maybe say was hard done by the groups is also Empire because they had both OG and Newbie. But next to Empire, it's Alliance who you say, yeah, these guys finished third, had Liquid, had Fnatic, who's been in amazing form lately. And they were so close to winning both those BO3s.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to wrap up the whole day in just a few moments' time. But before we do so, let's head downstairs where Sir Action Slacks is with one of our winners.
Hello, this is Slacks here with Ohio, and oh my, what a game that was. You guys were excited, came down the thing, screaming and laughing. You must be feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's very good right now.
All right. Now, questions for you. A lot of the Western the Western audience, seems to underestimate the Southeast Asian scene. How do you feel about that? Should they not underestimate you guys? Should they put a little bit more on you?
Well, just because I feel it's because last time Southeast Asia team is not enough stable on LAN tournament because we play a lot online tournament, but when we're going for the LAN tournament, our performance is not that stable. So that's why that's why the Western team will underestimate us.
Yeah. Now you talked about LAN tournaments. I heard that you guys usually only scrim against like other Southeast Asian teams. Is that true?
Yeah, because Southeast Asia, it means we cannot play against like China teams or Western because we don't have any of good VPN, so that's the reason.
Okay, do you feel like that puts you at an advantage or a disadvantage? I mean, they don't know your strats, but you kind of don't know theirs.
Actually, for our team, because we like to scrim with Western team because we want to learn something from them, so I think it's disadvantage if we only can play with Southeast Asia team. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, another question for you. Mushi just came back last month. He's back. You've seen the team with him. You've seen him without him. What does the team feel like to you? Can you explain it being on that team for you?
Well, because Mushi is one of the players that he have a lot of big picture for the game. Example, when we playing until the middle game is late game, we need him to command a lot of things. Like he have a lot of experience in the game. We have to fight and we have to take the rush and how we control the opponent. So this is the reason that we have to ask him to come back to play with us.
Yeah. But you like the team overall since he's back? I mean, feeling good? Good vibes?
Yeah, it's very good right now.
All right, now this is an important question. Bulldog played his signature hero, Nature's Prophet. You played Nature's Prophet, but you won. So who's the better Nature's Prophet in your opinion?
He still be the top one. I can be the number 2. I don't know.
How gracious of you. All right. And finally, you guys are moving on. Congratulations. You're going to be facing off against either Navi, Newbie, or LGD. Which one do you want to take out next?
Well, I think it's... I'm not sure, but I think we can fight against Newbie because we never play against them and maybe we can learn some things in the tournament.
Oh, see? So you don't even want to eliminate them, you just want to learn, huh?
Yeah, because we like to learn in the LAN tournament and then we can improve very fast. Oh, this maybe we call Fnatic.
All right, well, I'm sure you guys are going to learn a lot and improve and hopefully win your next series, but we'll have to find out soon. Guys, thank you for taking some time out with me, and we'll shoot you back to the panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sir Action Slacks down there. Well done. Very good job from Sir Action Slacks over the last couple of days with all the interviews. We've enjoyed them immensely, despite the fact that I might have thrown my hands up in the air a couple of times with some of the answers to the questions. He's been very entertaining indeed. We're going to wrap things up by taking you through all 4 brackets. So let's start with Group A. Played, of course, yesterday. Results in there weren't as we, or were rather, as we expected, with Newbie going through at the very beginning with a 2-0 win over OG at the top of the bracket. Empire fighting their way very nicely into that lower bracket game, probably ahead of expectations, with Complexity going out in 4th, Empire 3rd, and OG moving on in 2nd. So OG and Newbie will play in the upper bracket. Let's take a look at Group B. It was a group that we covered here on the panel, of course. Saw some fantastic games. It was the day of Na'Vi as they went a clean sweep through Group B and finished 4-0. DC, though, putting up some fantastic numbers in that group as well. They ended up going in 2nd and advancing to the upper bracket alongside Na'Vi. Wings and Team Secret will drop down to the lower bracket. Group C looks like this. We finish it off today. Team Liquid earlier on today, winning 2-1 in both games. Very tough matches as well they were, defeating both Alliance and Fnatic to claim the #1 spot, as expected, for the #1 team on the planet. Joining them, just now you saw Fnatic going through 2-1 against Alliance in very dominant fashion in Game 3. But Alliance have put up a fantastic fight all day long, a game off Liquid and a game away from going through, as well as a 2-0 crushing defeat of VGR. They will be a dangerous team to find in the lower bracket. Joining them in the lower bracket from Group D will be Mineski. Despite the fact that they put up 2 group game wins, much more than perhaps many expected, they did indeed finish in 4th place though. And Evil Geniuses will also be in the lower bracket, another dangerous team, as they finish in 3rd. MPP Phoenix finishing in 2nd, and LGD, perhaps surprising some, with a 4-1 victory overall in Group D. That's how the 4 groups wrapped up. We also have the schedule for you for the first day of the main event. Just a reminder for you as well, we're a couple of days away from that. We have a 2-day break now, but when we come back, we'll be live in the main event itself, and we'll start off with the upper bracket, round 1, match 1, followed by match 2, and then we'll enter the lower bracket as we have all 4 matches all the way through. They're all best of ones. That'll be our opening day of the main event in 2 days' time. So, that's how the schedule looks. But what about the pools? Who's going to be in there? We've got plenty of those teams to come. We'll show you that in just a moment. But gents, let's just talk about the last 2 days. The group stages have been very intense, not just from the players' point of view, but from the coaches and the fans and everyone else involved. I know that in some events, teams go out on group stages, and that's very cruel. Here they don't, but it's almost as intense because they know that losses mean they drop down to that lower bracket of death and doom and destruction, because it's going to be really tough for those players. We'll take a look at the upper bracket teams. They aren't drawn yet. I should make it very clear, if you're tuned in at home right now, the group stages are done. The teams did not know who they would play or which versions of teams they would be able to play from all the different groups. That will be a draw done later on. However, what we can tell you is the upper bracket will be the 8 teams you see there, followed by the lower bracket. Of all the teams that are in the lower bracket, Black, we'll start with you. Is it obvious that Wings are the most dangerous?
I would say it's Wings or Evil Geniuses for me. Wings, obviously, they're very unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. But EG, they're usually like very slow starters, but once they actually taste the defeat, they always come back very strong. Well, at least with the other version of EG. I haven't seen this version of EG perform under a lot of pressure yet, but if it's anything like the other one, then they'll definitely come out on top in their first match. Okay,
Alan, the reverse question for you. Who's the most dangerous team that we've seen so far, taking all of the matches that we've seen? We've said Liquid with the clear #1. Have they shown that they're a dangerous team? Have they shown championship-winning form?
I think Liquid certainly looked good today and probably have the highest ceiling based on what we've seen so far, but I still don't want to play Newbie. I'm absolutely terrified of that team. I was terrified of them coming in. I'm terrified of them after what we've seen. I just want to look at those 2 upper and lower brackets. And if we'd have shown those to you before the tournament and asked you which one of these is going to be the upper bracket, which one's going to be the lower bracket, you might have gotten it right, but how sure would you really have been?
Yeah,
The results have been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, they have. And what about the performance gods of a team like Na'Vi, who came into this with not very much confidence? Dendy said they were a bit fragile. They weren't exactly sure where they were going to be. And then they sweep the group, and a good group as well, 4-0.
Yeah, they took advantage of some very volatile teams right now. Wings have some kind of internal issues going on. Team Secret, a team who haven't shown up. But Na'Vi, not taking anything away from them, have played amazing Dota. Their team synergy is better than I've seen it in many, many years. And to see them going through as the #1 seed in their group is just incredible.
Black, who stands out for you of all the teams that you've seen so far?
I mean, if I have to give you one particular team, it probably... I watched all the LGD games, and I think I would have to give it to them because I put them really, really far down in my ratings, and I don't know, they somehow managed to come out on top of the group, and they're a lot better than I thought they would be. So they're definitely the most surprising team for me.
A couple of stats for you, though, Paul, since I know you love these.
We love these.
Right. So Alliance, I believe, the third highest win percentage of all time among all professional teams, hundreds and hundreds. I think they're up to 1,000 games played now. They've only had 16 games where they've lost by 26 or more kills. And the last time that they've been held to one team kill was just over 2 years ago in April of 2014. My brain is still trying to process this showing by Fnatic. And when you put together, okay, first of all, I don't think anybody sane could have looked at Shanghai and still be dissing SEA Dota after that tournament.
Yep.
But when you look at the fact that MVP came through that group of death, right, with EG at the top, and really C, I think, was probably the best group of the tournament. When you look at what Fnatic was able to achieve in this group today, I don't think you can question these teams of this region anymore. I really don't.
Okay, good. It's a great place to end it, except we've got one last final question. What are this Filipino crowd going to do when we get to the main event and they've got their own teams to cheer for? Because it's happening. It's going to happen now. Mineski going to be there. DJ's going to be there. Are you ready? Is your body ready?
Na'Vi is always the home team as well. So
yeah, in every country
I think Na'Vi versus Mineski, I think there may be more Na'Vi cheers. Is the crazy thing.
I mean, Secret as well, though, right? Eternal Envy and Arteezy, and especially Puppy, they have so many fans here. Like last time they came here, I think Envy said somebody grabbed his butt. I don't know what happened there. I don't want to go into detail.
I was out with Toby 2 days ago, and we got stopped in the mall straight away. Just people with photographs. And, I mean, it's just crazy out there. It's absolutely crazy. Can't wait until we get to the main event. Thank you very much to all of you, to Alan, to Black, and to you gods as well. And also to all of our other panelists so far over the last couple of days, all of our commentary team, the observers, and of course our backup stat men. They've been fantastic as well. We leave you with thoughts of Group B and C, which we've covered here on the main event, but also those in Group A and D. And we have a two-day break now, but don't go too far away. Enjoy the 2-day break as you get hyped for the Manila Major main event. It's coming soon.